Hey everybody, and welcome back to the gym. It's me, Rahul again. Today we're going to be doing another expanded deck. So, today we're going to look over Rainbow Road. Rainbow Road's been getting a lot of hype going into Philly Regionals after performing semi-decent at Arizona. And this was one of the lists piloted by Brandon Cantu, who took it to a top 32 finish, I believe, at Arizona. I know he made day two, I don't know how deep he went. I know he didn't make top 8, but he did pretty well with the list, and I've been testing it out a lot, and I really like the deck. I really like how he built it, and I'll just jump into the deck and talk about some of the, I guess, inclusions that Brandon had that a lot of people didn't, and why I like the list so much. There's two shamans. It's pretty standard, pretty normal. Um, just the hoopa, draw cards, whatever. There's this is one card I really liked is the Latios EX. So Latios EX's first attack for a psychic is fast raid. It does 40. But the reason it's so good is even if you go first, Latios EX can use fast raid. Now that means if you go first up against a lone Joltik and you have that psychic energy in your deck, you win the game. It's over. Like you just won in like 10 seconds, which is fantastic. And just having that donk opportunity is fantastic. And just going first and being able to, I guess, do damage and put some pressure on the enemy's board or the opposing player's board is also really nice if they're playing like Toad Bats or like anything that revolves around having small Pokemon that are donkable. In the expanded format, there's a lot of Pokemon like there's Execute, Zubat, Eevee, Combee, Joltik, Pumpkaboo. I'm gonna just say 60 because there's a Muscle Band in the deck. Jirachi promo, Froakie, um, Phantump, a lot of stuff are donkable in this format, and I really like how Brandon Cantu exploited that by putting Aladios in his deck. And going first, this deck has a ton of explosive power with the Skyfield Hoopa combo, and you just can pretty easily find that Psychic Energy if you can put it in the discard and Ho-Oh rebirth it onto your bench, and then Energy switch onto it. I've done the combo multiple times. I really love it. Yeah, there's four Xerneas. Xerneas is for a fairy and DCE. You do 10 plus 30 for each Pokemon type on your bench. So obviously your goal is to get a full bench of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 types to one shot anything in this game. I don't think there's any Pokemon that can stand up to that aside maybe like a Groudon with a Fighting Fury belt or something with a Focus Sash, which you can still deal with pretty fine. Your main attacker, sometimes it's your only attacker, which is why the deck has a lot of problems because it's your only attacker. But I digress. Then there's 3 Ho-EX. Ho-EX has an ability called Rebirth. Once during your turn, while this Pokemon is in your discard, you can flip a coin. If heads, you can put it on your bench and attach up to 3 different kinds of basic energy in the deck, or in your discard. And there's only 3 different kinds of basic energy that this deck plays that are in here. So Ho-Oh is your engine to get energies back on the board, and you energy switch them back onto your Xerneas. And Kapow, you have an energy attacker every single turn, which is fantastic. And you've got Ninja Boy to Ho-Oh something on the bench and instantly Ninja Boy into whatever you need it to be. One Execute. You discard a lot of stuff throughout this deck, and if you get paralleled and you have to force discards from your bench, a Skyfield and getting your Execute back instantly and putting it back down for a Grass type is always fantastic. And it's an extra type at extra 30 damage that I love. Aegislash EX is mostly used for its Mighty Shield ability. It gives you an out against things like Toad and things like just Night March and stalling for a little bit. Now, Night March is expected to go down in popularity due to Karen's release, but as a player, I don't believe that Karen will see much play, similar to how in Orlando Regionals, Karen was non existent. So I believe it'll follow the same principle in Philadelphia. There's a Jirachi EX. It's a fantastic card to have an expanded. There's no reason never to play it just because you can dig for that one supporter you need. It's just a better version of Shaman. Hoopa, there's one because you can get the Hoopa, get like double Ho-Oh Shaman or something, and then Ultra Ball Ho-Ohs away. or just get all the types of Pokemon you need, put them onto your bench. Keldeo, if you can Keldeo Floatstone, you're usually going to be able to deal with Poison, rush in, retreat, just do what you need to do throughout the game. Keldeo is just really, really strong and expanded. Um, Other notable inclusions for Pokemon I was considering is a one Eevee EX and putting in a Dark Energy, or one Jolteon EX, putting in a Lightning Energy, or Virizion EX and one Grass just to deal with Poison more efficiently. But I just like the way Cantu has his deck built, and I don't think any of those really needed. Everything is just like a luxury based on your metagame, so just keep that in mind. Like Jolteon could be very, very good for your meta, or Glaceon, or whatever you need it to be. So, anyways, moving on to trainers. There's four compressor. You want to get the Ho-Ohs in the discard. You want to get the eggs in the discard. You want to get supporters in the discard to play with. You want to get those energies in the discard with the Ho-Ohs. So you can go turn one compressor, Ho-Oh, Ho-Oh energy, second compressor, energy, energy, egg or something, and then rebirth, flip, and try to get land it and get them onto your field. I love it. Fantastic. Compressor is a missed card in standard. Computer search. You're discarding cards all the time. The execute just makes everything better. Why not? Computer search is one of the best ace specs. If not, computer search, you should probably play dowsing. Those are the only two real options I see in this deck. Maybe a scramble, but that's a little too cheeky. For energy switch, you're gonna hoe things onto your bench, and then you're just gonna try to move the energies where you want them to go. So you've got like that, like one big vehicle for your energies out of the discard. For trainers mills, just consistency. Just get what you need to get when you need it. For ultra balls, again, you want to hit that turn one Hoopa. You want to be able to get Ho-Ohs that are in your hand into the discard. You want to get energies in your hand into the discard. You want to get egg. You want to utilize it. You want to just draw cards. You want to get those Xerneas turn one more than anything. Xerneas energy. It's pretty much ideal. It's all you need. For VO Seeker, pretty staple to almost any deck unless you're playing Vileplume, in which case you don't really need items. One Chorus, because you're playing Skyfield, so you're expected to have like a massive bench. Your opponent's probably going to capitalize on that as well. Chorus becomes really, really good in that instance. One Lysander, you just want to pull stuff up, kill it. Simple. One N. You're usually going to be ahead for most of the game, so you don't really want to use N. You use Chorus more than anything. But N is just in case you fall behind. It's a disruption mechanic. Oh, sorry. One Ninja Boy. I really like Ninja Boy just because you can Ho-Oh rebirth something onto your bench and then instantly Ninja Boy it into a Xerneas. Or instantly pull it into a Aegislash and just use Aegislash's attack, which is Slash Blast. And you can just start swinging with Slash Blast, or you can make it into a Keldeo, hit with that. You can just literally do whatever you want with that Ho you put on your bench. If someone pulls up a Hoopa and they're like, we're going to keep this stuck active, you can just be like, Hoopa, make it an execute and just kill it. Ninja Boy is just so cute and cheeky, and it's got a lot of like practical applications to it. This deck. There's two Sycamore. You might be thinking, oh, that's a little low, but you play four Compressor, four Ultra Ball, four Mail, four VS Seeker, Comp Search, Hoopa, Jirachi, Shaman. More than like 50 or 30, 40% of your deck is draw cards, and you're just trying to like cycle through your deck as fast as possible. And you will. Trust me, you will. So two Sycamore is more than enough. One Skyla, just because Skyla is really like all you need on turn one is like, oh, I have a Skyfield, or I have an Ultra Ball. Let me Skyla for the other piece, and Ultra Ball into Hoopa, and I will set up my field now. We're gonna do things. For Skyfield, the stadium's essential to keeping the deck. You need a big bench. You absolutely need one to work with the deck. Um, Two Fighting Fury belts. You want to get your Xerneas that extra HP so it doesn't get knocked out easily. Therefore, you can just focus on having one to two Xerneas for a majority of the game, and just try to keep your bench going with like five types, and just do the damage you need to do. Two shot things, three shot things, whatever you got to do. One Floatstone. Um, just put it on the Keldeo. You'll be fine. You don't really need much other than that. You can Ninja Boy things away out of the active spot. One Muscle Band, mostly because of the donk aspect of the whole with Latios. And the extra damage is always nice. 40C, you need it. It's like bread and butter of the deck. 3 Fairy for Xerneas' attack. 1 Steel, just to do damage with Aegislash and have another energy type that you can pull out with Ho-Oh. And 1 Psychic for the Donk ability, and you can pull it out of the discard with Ho-Oh. Inclusions that I would really like is Karen, kind of, but like Karen's counterintuitive because you want to keep the eggs and the ho-ohs in your discard. So I'd maybe like want a Super Rod. The deck is very good. Its biggest weaknesses lie in like Toad decks or item lock decks, where they just like lock you out of the game and you can't really do anything. You beat a lot of EX based variants. You beat Yveltal pretty handily because they can never really one shot your Xerneas, and you can just because they rely on Fright Night most of the time, and you're just like, hey, I'm doing things to you. What are you gonna? What is your answer? And you beat a lot of the meta just based on purely on Xerneas. Other than that, deck's pretty straightforward. I invite you guys to try it out. Philly's coming up 2 weeks, so yeah, please try out the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Uh, please like, subscribe, everything helps. And thank you guys so much for watching. Try out Rainbow Road.